Today's reading is Matthew chapter 12, verse 46 to the end of the chapter. Families, eh? Who'd have 'em? I once read a book by John Cleese and a psychologist called Robin Skinner called Families and How to Survive Them. It was about the complexity of family dynamics. The title first attracted me, and then the humour, guaranteed from John Cleese, but it was insightful and rang bells. During the period of lockdown, I guess many family relationships have been somewhat tried, with enforced 24/7 company and little to do. It must have been very challenging for those with small children and with disgruntled teenagers. Combining family care, homeschooling and working from home has meant very tricky juggling for some families. Conversely, for others, the lockdown meant a long period of not meeting up with family in the flesh, a different but also hard challenge. Maybe one way or another, many of us have learnt something about what our family means to us and about the quality of our relationships. There have been worrying reports of an increase in domestic violence, and I wonder what will happen to the divorce figures later this year. On the other hand, I trust that many, and hopefully most, have been drawn closer together in mutual support and deepened family bonds. I can imagine that Jesus' public ministry caused some problems for his family, his relatives, some of whom would have supported him and others perhaps not. We know his mother was faithful, and James, his brother, was one of the early leaders of the church. He did warn on another occasion that he could set up conflict within families. In this passage, Jesus isn't denying his family ties or rejecting his relatives. Rather, he's widening his spiritual family to include all those who were loyal and committed to him, what we call today the family of God or the body of Christ. The family of faith is a large and diverse one that doesn't have a great history of all getting on well together, unfortunately. One that's divided by arguments, differences of opinion, competition, prejudice. The ecumenical movement has done a lot to alleviate this. And when the chips are down, we can find out how much we have in common rather than how much we differ. Churches often work together in a crisis, responding to need and focused on others rather than inward-looking and in self-protection. Maybe crisis is useful in this way, to make us realise what really does matter, where our loyalties and our love really do lie. Whoever does the will of our Father in heaven, that is our brother and our sister and our mother.